Hello everyone, it's your buddy Sven here once again, coming at you with another Warframe video. Now today we will be covering the Broken War. I was about to say discovering for some reason. I think a lot of you know that this is a weapon in the game. If you've completed Second Dream, you have the Broken War. So the Broken War is a fragment of the Sword War, which is used by the Shadow Stalker and can actually be crafted if you kill the Shadow Stalker and get that blueprint, or if you were to buy the Hun House gift bundle in the shop for I think 585 platinum. Pretty costly bundle, but it's worth it. I think it's a really good bundle. Anywho, enough about that. We're here to talk about the Broken War. Now, the Broken War is a one-handed sword, and in my opinion, hands down the best one-handed sword in the game. Its only other competition really being the Docker Prime. Now, some of you may be asking, okay, so Sven, what's your build on it? That's why we're on this site, Warframe Builder. Now, to go down here, we have my 0 Forma Broken War build, and I don't know a way that I can actually improve on this with Forma. This thing is so good with what it gives you by default. It gives you the V polarity on the stance and 2 polarities just from the get-go. And you still have 1 mod capacity left over for this build. Now, one-handed swords traditionally don't pack that much damage, but they can attack a little bit faster. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through this build real quick, and I'll explain my reasoning as we go along. Now to start, we have the stance Crimson Dervish. I know that you have, I think it's the default Vengeful Revenant just by using Broken War by default. Crimson Dervish maxed out gives you not only the stance extra polarity, which as you can see we kind of need in this build, but Crimson Dervish applies some really good damage multipliers with the stance and just overall. So I play that on this build. Next up, of course, you guys know me, max pressure point, 120% melee damage. Why the hell not? Why would you not run this thing? This is way too good, and this is a huge part of the build. Now, of course, Spoiled Strike, you guys notice that I play Spoiled Strike on a lot of builds. The extra 100% damage, again, too good to pass up, and the 20% attack speed that you lose, not a big deal because we also play Fury. Fury adds 30% attack speed. Fury is here for 2 reasons, and one of which we'll get into later, and some of you who have been watching my recent builds, you see a mod on this list already that you know the exact second reason, but it's also to recuperate the loss of attack speed from Spoiled Strike. Next up, I have Buzzkill. Buzzkill is 120% extra slash damage. However, if you cannot get your hands on Buzzkill, that's okay. Jagged Edge works too. Jagged Edge you can get on the moon. I know that for a fact. That's where I got my Jagged Edge. I play Jagged Edge in the current build, but some people always ask me, so can you do a separate video where you upgrade the build? I wanted to just start in with Buzzkill, and if you don't have Buzzkill, go for Jagged Edge. It's not too bad a drop-off, but Buzzkill can make the difference in later game. Next up, we have Berserker. This is the second reason that Fury is in here. Berserker gives 30% attack speed bonus for 24 seconds on critical hit, and that can go up to 75%, not 90% unfortunately, but subsequent crits after stacking it 3 times will keep refreshing the 24-second timer. Now, the reason I have this is because just overall, Fury is going to give it a really good starting point to keep ramping up. Next up, we have Killing Blow. You guys know me, I'm not usually one for channeling, but Killing Blow adds 120% extra channel damage to make it overall. You get double your damage if you're channeling for only 5 energy per hit. That is really good. I can't pass up Killing Blow in this build. It's just too efficient. Next up, we have Fever Strike and Shocking Touch. In order to make it corrosive, we have the 90% poison, 90% electricity. This thing doesn't have great status chance, only 10%, so I didn't go with the status version of those mods. I went for the full-on damage. Now let's go ahead and cover the actual stats. Clocks in at nearly 31 impact and puncture. Not that bad. Actually beats War in puncture. Now, 554 slash with 557 corrosive. I know those aren't the biggest numbers, but this is a one-handed sword. We need to keep that in mind. Spin attack is really good. Leap attack is not great, but the wall attack is good too. The fire rate, 1.1, that if we were to ramp it up with the 3 hits of Berserker, 1.925, nearly 2 attacks a second. This thing gets ramped up like hell. This thing is great with Berserker. Now, it's a 1.5 times multiplier with 15% critical. I know that's not the best metric for going on with that. But trust me, I've played with Berserker and without Berserker on the Broken War. You're going to want Berserker. That attack speed, when you get those 15% crit chance, when you actually get those, it makes a difference. 10% status chance, low status chance seems to be the norm with one-handed swords in my experience. The 110% channeling for only 5 cost, really darn good. And we clock in at 1280 burst and sustained DPS. That is pretty good for a one-handed sword. Now, if you guys have any critiquing to this build that you want to do, let me know in the comments below. Of course, I love to hear from you guys. And I would like to see if, of course, if you guys have any, critiques, let me know. I would love to learn from you guys. I love when you guys prove my builds wrong in a way. Anywho, if you like what you saw in the video, please leave a like down below. That helps me out so very much. And if you want to see Warframe videos every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with the new schedule I just implemented, it gets 3 days a week, not 2. Hit the big red button down below, subscribe to my channel. You'll see my videos the moment they come out. Anywho, this has been Sven. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.